Good afternoon, Jesse. What are we doing today?
Lily. What you got? Did you show Dad? Did you show him?
How's it going, Larry?
Not bad. How are you today, Jesse? Where'd my audio go?
Can you hear me all right?
Oh, there you are.
Hi, guys.
I can't hear you.
Hey, Jan, that's a question for Jesse.
Jesse, I asked Jesse. He hasn't answered me yet.
Hold on 1 second.
Because you're on mute.
Fix this here.
Jesse, how do I make the font legible? I hate the font and I want to change it. And a DocuSign.
Yeah, good luck with that. There's a box that comes up on the right side with some yellow in it, and that's where you can actually make some changes to things you're adding, but that's in DocuSign.
Yeah, that's where I figured it would have to be in DocuSign.
Yeah, I changed mine from whatever that default is they put in there, which is like, I don't know why they're using that. I changed mine to Arial on the documents that I recently did.
And it's legible and you like it?
Yeah, unlike dot loop, when you do a text box, it doesn't black out or doesn't blank out the lines behind what you write. But if you make the font, I think the font is set at 9 for size. If you take or 8, if you take it a step up or 2, it gets bigger, and therefore it's easier to read over top of the black lines.
Yeah, that would be okay.
Yeah, so even if
go
you
with
make
that.
it even bigger than that, then it's probably going to get pretty reasonable, readable. If I was in a hurry and I just bumped it up one, it looked decent, so I plugged it in.
Okay, so I log into command, and the very first place I want to go is DocuSign without going through all these gyrations.
Well, you need to go. You need to go. You have to go to your contact.
That's the problem. I hate that. I
Yeah,
just
first
want to
you go-
go right to DocuSign.
Yeah, but the system needs to know who you're dealing with.
Well, what if I just wanted to look at a generic document?
That's a part. That's a problem because you have to
Yeah.
pick. You have to pick
You
somebody.
can log in. It's called realestate.docusign.com. You navigate there and you can access all your rooms.
Okay, it's what again, Jesse? It's real estate.
.docusign.com.
Hey, Jesse, it says it's recordings, but I don't have the ability to make you host.
Oh my God.
That's awesome, Jesse. That's what I've been
I
looking
covered
for
that.
forever.
I covered that a few classes ago on a
Wow.
Tuesday.
I was out working then.
What is it?
Realestate.docusign.com.
Oh, okay.
That was simple, and then boom, you're there. Some of us have to work, Jesse.
Hmm?
Like we got real jobs. I'm just kidding. Okay. That's cool.
Okay, so I can't share my screen yet. We're trying to figure this out. Just give me a second, guys. All right.
Now I'm trying to figure out how to go change the font. I don't know where to go for this. Any idea, Larry?
Yeah, you have to be. You have to have be in envelopes. You have to have a document in envelopes that you're working with, getting ready to send.
But I want to like permanently make a change in there and make it some kind of font that is legible.
I have not found a way to make that stick.
What's wrong with the default?
You can't read it. It's too small. When you
Just change the
have,
size. That's what I've been using. The default font has been fine for me.
how can I change it though? If my customer doesn't like it and he's going, you can't even read that. So is there a way to change it or not?
I believe so. Well, let me check.
And I'll tell you, Jesse, and this is particular for me because I'm an old guy. I have a lot of senior clients and they can't, I actually went and had a name badge made with larger font on my name so my old clients could read it. I'm not kidding. I really did.
Smart move.
Hey, I'm going to be one of those old chicks one day. So,
Yeah.
Jan's just saying she's getting old.
Shut up, Ramirez.
It's kind of like those old phones with the old phones with the big buttons on them.
Hey.
That's kind of where she is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
well,
love that. I love those things.
that's what my cell phone's going to have to be here in a couple of years.
I'm waiting for the day that somebody introduces a keyboard with giant keys on it like that.
Yeah. Well, they
It'll be
probably
like-
do.
It'll be like 2.5 feet wide.
They probably do because I know they make these cool reader things for, I had a lady that was about 95 and she would take a regular book and put it under the screen and it would amplify the page that she was reading up on a monitor, like a regular monitor. And so she would just slide her page under there and it would amplify it, and she could make it whatever size she needed to make it so she could read it. It was so great. So great. All right, Jesse, that's your challenge. Figure out how to change the font.
Alrighty.
I'm still trying to be away from Keller Williams Realty. But that doesn't stick either. Let's see if that changes it. Hey, did you guys see my new listing?
I haven't seen it yet.
The good one. Thank you, dear.
Your host.
Okay.
Mute when you're not talking.
Okay, what do you got going on?
I gotta get a hold of this BLB stuff.
Okay. Well, right now, Jesse's the boss. I have to do what Jesse tells me.
Looks like I have my host now. So let me go ahead and get this screen shared finally.
What is today's topic?
What's today's topic, Jesse?
Well, we're going to go into advanced smart plans, right? Heather, you covered that yesterday? I think she's nodding her head yes. Can barely see the movement. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and cover what that looks like.
Good now?
Hi, Heather.
Yep, I'm all good.
Okay, I'm out.
All right, thanks. Okay. So I have a bunch of tasks here for y'all so you can see. Let me get this shared. Okay. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Good. All right. So, do you see all these tasks that are right here?
Yeah.
These are all tasks from a smart plan. So, this is the way they look when they come through, guys. Right? Gives you information, gives you numbers, gives you even a little script. Right? So, this is the way they look. Has anybody seen any tasks come up as a result of your smart plans, or has anybody started using them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get them.
Cool.
They're mostly call reminders or text reminders. Since
Okay,
that's
cool.
since those are the options in the smart plans that I've been using.
Awesome. So yesterday, if you were on yesterday's, you should have seen this, right? At least taking a look. So you start out with people plans under My Smart Plans. So the My Smart Plans section is your personal library, okay? That's Those are things that you have access to use. Okay. The other library that you see here, that's what you have access to from Keller Williams. And does anybody's look the same or look any different?
Since I don't know what I'm looking at, I can't really answer that. I'm learning.
Okay. Well, this is the smart plans.
Okay.
Okay. So we're given 10 by default. Okay. So here they are. So you can see them. And the way you get to using them is by clicking the Add Smart Plan button. As soon as you click that button, it makes it available in your My Smart Plans section. Okay. Hey, Larry, I'm going to mute you. There's like wind coming through or something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so you have plenty here. Some of these are really awesome, like the open house follow-up. If you're holding an open house, you get a few leads, boom, just throw them right immediately on that open house follow-up. Here's the steps that it'll take, okay? So some of these smart plan activities, you gotta be really on it. Some of them are automated, some of them happen automatically if you have the appropriate things set up. Or you'll get all of the, let me just open this back up again, or you'll get all of the tasks showing up, okay? Right here, okay, see those tasks? So these aren't automated, right? You can't automate a call. That doesn't make any sense. You know, you want to, it's your responsibility to get out there and make that phone call. Okay, so text messages, things like that, they'll show up here if you don't have the Twilio text messaging service hooked up. Okay, so like this one here, we're going back to the open house follow-up. So first thing here, it says, hey, blank, blank, thanks for coming by. What did you think of the open house? Is this an appropriate message? Is this something that you feel comfortable sending out?
To a unique client, yes. To a special client, I'm to the point now that I get 50 of these a day. So I would send it to a client that I had a relationship with that I invited to the open house and wanted their feedback. I wouldn't send it to everyone.
Okay. Well, the idea about it is to get in contact with everybody that did sign it, right? So for you and Jen, in your case, you probably wouldn't add this to people you just met. Others feel more comfortable by this. And what we're seeing, it depends on the generation that we're working in, but what we're seeing is a lot more interaction on the text message side versus a phone call versus an email.
And you can edit that verbiage, correct?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Which is why I asked if you thought it was appropriate.
Yeah.
The language is a little
Relaxed.
Right? It's a little friendly.
Yeah.
And it does one other thing. It doesn't do one other thing. It doesn't identify you as a real estate agent, right?
Yes. Correct.
It's an introductory text message. You definitely want that through. Okay. So make sure that you have the proper verbiage in there, identifying yourself. We have different steps in here. This is a great example of what the steps look like. Okay. So first one, we have the SMS or the text message. Then we have a delay. So after this is done, it waits an entire day and it gives you a task. Okay. It's saying, send a nice to meet you at the open house email to your lead for the open house you held. Include first name, last name, their email as part of the open house follow-up smart plan. Now, you can automate that email if you'd like. You can do that within Command and utilize the service that we have available called Command Email, or you can just send a manual email. It's up to you. Okay.
I like this one.
Okay. The next thing it'll do after that email gets sent out is it's going to wait 2 days. and then it's going to have you make a phone call, right? You can change this verbiage, just telling you who to call and what number to call, okay? Which is cool, it's nice, makes it easy for you. You can also include a script. If you have a nice open house follow-up script that you'd like to use, you can include that in there if you haven't already committed it to memory. It's up to you. After that phone call, it waits another 3 days. Now, as I'm going step by step, you understand here that it gives you the amount of days that the plan will run for, how many steps are included on this plan, and how many touches you'll actually have. Okay. Now, I know this question will come up eventually, so I'll go ahead and cover it now. You can assign more than one smart plan to a client. Okay. That's a good thing. There are certain things that you don't want to bombard them with all the time. Say, for example, that person showed up at your open house and you knew that they were interested in that specific area because of them showing up to your open house. You can include them on a monthly neighborhood nurture or bi-weekly neighborhood nurture, right? Well, they'll get information about properties and the activity that goes on in that specific area. Okay. You can also, after you've made contacts and you get friendly, you guys understand that, yeah, we're going to work together. You guys begin your professional working relationship. Then more information comes through, like a birthday, for example. You can add them to the birthday plan, right? And the birthday plan will begin to engage you about a week out, right? So there's going to be, I'll show you what the steps are, but it starts out with get a card ready and get that sent out. Okay. So those are the kind of things that you can do. So continuing on with this one specifically, so you can see the other examples here. It has another text message here, right? After the 3-day delay, it's going to say, hey, I have a few open houses coming up that I think you'd be interested in. Would you like me to send you a list? And you could do that, right? How could you see what kind of list can you send? And what's really awesome with this kind of text is there's an option for you to include a hyperlink if you wanted to include one. Although, you know, it'll be pretty broad. It'll go out to anybody that's on this one. So there are some things that you need to work out still. Another delay, another phone call. Anyway, the idea is to get in contact with them. Okay. And after this runs, the very last step that it shows here is that it includes this individual or adds them to the long-term nurture. See that? You can add a step to add this person to another smart plan once this one runs its course. Pretty cool, right? So you're not repeating the exact same things. You're going to begin sending them some other information, neighborhood information about you. It's up to you on which one you decide for it to go to. Okay, so now that you've seen the basic steps of what some, or at least one, of these smart plans does, what are your thoughts?
I will like it once I figure it out. And so it's going to be unique for each client, and this gives me the idea that I can customize it.
You can customize it, and to a point, some things that'll be customized to the client are names, and I'll show you here in a second. We'll get into what it actually looks like here. So I'm going to go back to my smart plans. This will help me better answer your question, actually. Right. Where is that open house one? There you go. Here's the open house one. Okay, so it's added to my library. I added it way back January 9th. This year. You can add people to this smart plan by using this button. You can click it. If you know someone specifically by name, right, you can just add them to it, just like that. Or you can add them by tags. If you have a specific tag that you want to use, you can do that. Okay. You can edit them, which is what we're going to go do next, by clicking on that pencil. So this is where you begin to customize what it says. Okay. You can also add context to this smart plan right here by this button. Oh, I'm not enabled. Hold on 1 second. I need to enable my homing beacon on my cursor.
Homing beacon.
Yep, you'll see what I mean. Just give me 1 second. I don't know how it turned off.
Jesse, you're a beacon.
I guess I'll take that as a compliment.
It is.
Let's see here. Where is it? Okay. Okay, this is what I mean by beacon. Can you see this right here?
Uh-huh.
Yep, that's helpful. That's what we needed right there. Okay. Just so you can add people with this button right in the editing section. It's the exact same field that you saw on the previous screen, which is nice. And all of these are the options that you can. You can add steps if you wanted to. You can, so like for example, this one that says create a text, send an email to this client. Well, what if I just want to automate an email? I can click here. See this button right here? It says send email. I can configure it and add it to. So whenever I add something to this, it should end up at the bottom. You see this right here? So I added a couple. I don't need two. I just need one. So we'll get rid of that one. Okay. And say I wanted this email to go right up to the top where it was. So we'll just keep moving it on up. Move it on up. Okay. Oops. It's always going to be the bottom one, guys. Underneath the actual field is where it's going to be. Okay. So you'll need to pay attention to where you're at. Okay, we're almost there. There's 10. Almost there. This part will require a little bit of patience to make sure you're in the right place. And if you mess up, you can start over again. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It takes a little practice. Okay. And we're almost there. Give me 1 second. Okay. One more step and we're right where we need to be. Okay, so here we are. Here's that task to send an email, which is fine. But what I really want is instead of it telling me a task, I want it to be an actual email. So I could compose an email here. Now, the reason why it comes out as a task instead of an automated email, in this case anyway, is that the open house will always change, right? Consider that. It's going to be a different email. It's going to be a different open house. Something to that. But a good little introductory email that I think would be really good for people would be to include a link to your KW app. Because what's one thing that they can do from the KW app?
A lot of things they can do, like now they can contact our lenders. They can do all kinds of things from the KW app.
Yep. And they can also see properties that have open houses scheduled on them. So if they want to work on that, you can be the source of the source, right?
Yes.
Here, let me give you this app. It's really cool. If you look in a specific area, it'll tell you which properties has an open house scheduled coming up. I think that's awesome. Right? So that's something that I would do, right? So, you know, little something. Have you seen this? Right? And then you can type up your email. And you can actually specify exactly who it is that you're talking to. So this little function button here, guys, you see it? Little F dot button. It's a field button, it's a little function button, I like to call it. So this is going to pull from a specific column for the specific client if you have the information.
Hmm.
So you can click on that, right? So next, when it sends out an email to a specific person, it'll replace this placeholder with their name. Right? I think that's awesome. You can introduce yourself, right? Wanted to reach out and introduce you to a new tool to help you on your home search, right? You can make it say whatever you need it to say. You can thank them and thank you so much for coming to my open house this past weekend. Right? And you're basically creating a template. It's pretty cool. Click, and then I'm going to add this link button. You see this right here?
Mm-hmm.
Click that in there.
Is that what that is? Is that what that thing is for?
Yep. Watch here. I'm gonna get my consumer app link real quick. So bear with me a second. It's just gonna fly through this real quick. Right? Add link. So now I'm saying click here to download. My app. And just ended up. Oops, that's not the right symbol. There we go. Right? And just keep doing everything else that you remember you need to include in your emails, you need to identify yourself. And you can leave this alone after that. It's a simple little message. It doesn't look like it's all done up HTML style, like it's going to be one of these things that just bombards them with emails and stuff like that. Right? It's just going to be a simple email that comes through. So that's all they'll get.
And that's enough?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to get a little bit more complicated with it, then yeah, you can go HTML, which is a different thing altogether. And the email designer is being worked on. It's actually got some good improvements made to it, but that'll be coming up a little bit later. So what do you think? Do you like that you can be able to add things to this like I just did?
Yep, I do.
Right? This is exactly the way I would say something.
I think this is more like third grade and I'm still in kindergarten. But yes, I like this.
It's just customizing, this particular system similar to what we would do before, just doing it straight from an email type of thing instead of from a system.
Mm-hmm. And what's cool is once they get the email and they decide they want to reply to it, they hit reply and it comes right to your email that you have set up with Command Email. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the fact that it automates all of that, like you're saying, the system's just doing it in the background while you're focusing on what else you're doing instead of having to take the time to do all these individual emails to the people that came to your open house.
Yep, exactly it. Right? Put your attention where it needs to be. Right? Automates your lead follow-up, which is nice. Keeps you top of mind in more than one way, which is nice. And it allows you to maintain your time block, right? So if you set aside 2 to 3 hours for lead generation every day, you can honor that and not have to worry about sending an email just to share your app. It's right there. You know, there are a few other things that you can do with this as well. You can also, you know, manipulate it a little bit more if you wanted to. You can change how big the text is if you want to.
Yay! For
You
old
can
people.
you can change the color if you'd like. Right. So here's an example. Okay. You can change the spacing. That's what this one is for. Or actually it's where you're going, so you can do centered, you can do right, you can do left, which is pretty cool. This one's your spacing one, actually, your line spacing. Or it gives you bullet points, right? It's pretty cool. It has some basic word processor functions, which is a good thing, because you can do bold, you can do italicize, you can do underline for everything if you want to. It's all up to you. Pretty cool. And it can get more advanced by using that HTML option right there. So that would end up being not third grade. That would be more like senior year.
Okay, when
If
I'm
you're
ready
using
for that,
HTML.
I'll incorporate you, Jesse. You can do those for me.
Yep, that's an option that we could talk about later. But yeah, how cool is that? You can even, you know, change your text like we talked about earlier. Hi, da 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 da. Thank you, Brendan. What did you think of the open house? Right, think of that. And then you have to introduce yourself here. Right. What did you think? Make it simple. What did you think? Right? If I want to add more stuff, I could. Remember that function button? There it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a few more things here. So if I didn't want to have this typed out like that, I can just replace my name with a function if I wanted to, which is this one right here. Right? So then I can just delete that because then it's me. And then I can delete that and I can add team name right there.
This is a lot. There's a lot of stuff here.
Oh yeah, there is a ton. There's a ton of stuff here. Okay, and this, just a reminder, is the Advanced Smartplans class. So, so if you feel a little behind, it's okay. There's a lot of stuff here.
Robin has a good question. Can you show us how to start the Twilio thing? Or am I not allowed to take remedial?
Yeah, we're getting bombarded with emails about how you have to change this, and your current account has to be closed, and you have to switch over to a new account unless you want to keep your old phone number, and blah 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 blah.
Oh, we're supposed to disconnect Twilio, delete our account, and start over. Well,
You not
if
got
I
one of
did
those
it now, if I did that now, it'd be kind of worthless because there are things coming up that are changing, and it'll be pretty quick.
Oh, so don't learn it yet?
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
have you not gotten those emails, Jesse?
I may have, but I've been really prioritizing the business emails, my
Okay.
business emails.
Yeah, we're getting them from KWRI. We're getting them from Twilio. You know, your changes coming to your Twilio account. We're no longer going to do this. You know, we now we're going to do this. If you've got your account, you need to disconnect it or end the account and start a new one and blah, blah, blah. But they're saying, you know, it's coming up.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I don't see any here for me.
Want me to forward them? I can forward an email to you.
We'll see. Let me see.
Thank you, Larry. I'm glad I'm not crazy.
Oh, actually, I've had 2 different emails. I emailed support going, I don't have a phone number. So what do I do? Nobody's answering the question yet. They've responded 6 times and nobody's answered my question.
So you're referring to the message logs? That's what it's talking about?
We got emails telling us we had to disconnect our account, delete it, and get a new account, but Twilio won't even let you do that.
So let me see here. Do you have a paid account? Like,
Yeah.
did you pay for a phone number and stuff
Yeah.
like that? Okay. Well, the one that I see here from KWRI specifically, it shows that changes are coming, but it doesn't include any instructions to disconnect or anything like that.
Did you click on the click here for instructions to get ready for the change?
Okay, let's see here. Okay. So here, it looks like these are your 2 options. Transfer your Twilio number to the command account, which I have done, right? So if I really log into my Twilio account, okay. So when I did that, and it's talking about 2-factor, get that. So my phone numbers right here. And it says that I'm managed by KW. Does yours say that when you look into it?
I'll have to look.
So I think I'm good. I think I'm good based upon what this is. So my current phone number is over on the command account, managed by KW, right? So that's already done. I did that a long time ago. But there are some, so this is exactly what I was talking about. There are some changes coming up to where it doesn't even need to be a necessary thing. I like that it's 17% off. Nice. That's pretty cool. Yep, that's good. It's not a bad email. Because I've been part of these labs, guys, where we have been working on the interface for how this is going to going forward for connecting Twilio, which is why I don't want to show the process now, because clearly it's coming. It's coming sooner rather than later. So yeah, what is the date that it's saying? It's 24 days ago. It was Paul. Doesn't really have a date, does it? So that's
So
okay.
is it just you tech nerds that are getting these emails, or is it everybody that has a Twilio account?
Not just the tech nerds. It's everybody that has a Twilio account associated with their command system.
Okay.
Right. So the way you would see that is we're going to go to settings real quick here. And It's this right here.
Got it.
Okay. So this, the connection and all this stuff will be changing fairly soon. The process is a little different, so showing it now may not be beneficial, in my opinion, at this point. But this is a tool. This is the tool that'll help automate those text messages for you.
Okay.
Okay. So when it rolls around, Jan, and you're ready, we'll get you connected with that.
Okay. I'll make sure that it's in my notes, Jesse. You're the man.
Okay. Cool. So cool. So no reason, nothing of concern. Just make sure to verify your account in Twilio, that it is moved over and controlled by your command and stuff like that. And that should be enough. If I find anything else that's different, then I will definitely be letting you know. But Twilio has been doing a lot of work on their end to expand out, which is pretty amazing in the capabilities that I've been seeing. So get excited. It's pretty cool. Cool. All right. So that's what it looks like for Smartplans there. Yeah, Robin, let me know if you end up seeing that. Okay, if you end up seeing what your account looks like there.
Okay, I'm trying to, I can't even get to where you got to with the phone number. Maybe I just don't know how to work Twilio.
Okay, so when you log in, are you logged in on Twilio?
Yes.
Okay. So here's what the home screen looks like right from the dashboard, right?
Right.
It's at the bottom where it says phone numbers, and then you click on phone numbers.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Interesting. We'll have to look at it outside, okay?
Okay.
All right, so that's the smart plan. We can build one. Okay. Building a custom smart plan is not hard. It's actually pretty easy. I'm not gonna save these changes that I made here. I'll just leave them. I'll just get rid of them. Okay, so there's some things that I built on my own. So you guys see these DTV2?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, so what's DTV2? Everybody know?
No, tell me. I'm sure I do, but tell me.
Yeah, do the database 2. We learned it last year in
Yes.
right?
Yep.
They call it DTV4.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what's the 2? What's the deal with the 2?
You tell me.
Well, it's you're looking at 2 different sets of letters there, right? Y and Z.
Mm-hmm. Those
Right?
are the
And
alphabet letters of the people I'm supposed to contact, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I had done was create. What I did was I started with 1. Right. I started with 1 of these and created it just as it would, just as you would need to. For those couple letters. Since I'm only doing DTV2 and not DTV4, I left it like that. So anybody, I'm cleaning my database up right now, so that's why you don't see anybody assigned to this. And plus, I don't think I have anybody with contacts that have last names that end in Y or Z right now. But what it's there for is to keep you in contact with people, right? So you make a phone call. After that phone call is done, it delays a day. You're making another phone call, and there are instructions. You see right there?
Mm-hmm.
I got a little script in there that I just typed in there.
Cool.
Right?
And you did that.
Yep, I did that.
Okay.
This entire thing is custom, the way I had built it out. Right? If this one had a script on it, it would pop up. Here's what the text message looks like. Because the idea is what? So Monday of that week, you call them, you leave a voicemail. You wait a day. Here comes Wednesday. On Wednesday, you make a phone call. You don't leave a voicemail. And then Thursday, you just send them a text, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's spaced out.
Mm-hmm.
So I built that. I replicated that. Built it out here. Now, if you notice here, I have a couple of placeholders. So I set my delay. The max delay you can put on anything is 30 days, or at least that's the way it is for now. It may change, may not. I'm not certain at this point. So this manual task right here, when it comes up on my task list and command dashboard, all it says is DTV2 space holder. That's all it says.
Yeah,
So
but you know what that is.
Yeah, I set it up for me to know exactly what that is. Exactly, you're right. And then I set another one and another one, and then it just repeats every 90 days. right? So let's actually take a look at that one, right? Let's edit this out. Okay, so you see here, it goes for 90 days, right? So this is meant to be my quarterly call. Here are my 11 steps right here.
Mhm.
And there are my touches. Literally just 3 attempts per quarter, right? Now, the question that I get all the time is, well, what if you talk to somebody? Well, right now I have it set up as a static email or a static text message, which is the same message every single time. What if I talk to them on Monday? Or what if I talk to them on Tuesday? Right? And I didn't need to get to this point. Well, there's where this dynamic option comes in handy. You can add a second one in here, and you can change it up a bit. Right? There are different strategies around it where we can talk about a little bit later, because it gets kind of nerdy, kind of techy. So we'll just leave that for now. We only have about 10 minutes left here. But dynamic means that it changes. It cycles through, as it sees here. Add more text messages to cycle through your repeating smart plans to avoid repeating messages to your clients, right? So after it sends this one, the next time around it'll send that one, and then the next time that one, and so on and so forth, up to 5 more times, right? Pretty cool. It's up to you. I don't know if anybody remembers everything every quarter, but it'd be kind of funny if you'd never got in contact with them, and then they get another, then they get another text message with the exact same thing as it said before. It seems a little weird, Jess. What's going on here? So maybe you might want to consider dynamic text messages. Okay. Let's see. Let's talk about these real quick over here.
Okay.
Okay. So create a task. This is anything. It can be a contact task. Like, let me pull up a task. Right here. Okay. So there's a touch and non-touch. This is the non-touch, meaning that it is not a task for me to make contact with this person. Okay. A touch task is something where it's like, here's an example. You see that right there? Example, call such and such. Right? Here's their phone number. Or send a text message. Here's their name, here's their phone number. Or send them an email, send them a letter, send them something. Those are touches, right? So you can create those type of tasks. I would say use this kind of task, the touch task, if it's something that's not an email, text message, or a phone call. If it's something like send them a congratulations note, or send them a thinking of you card, or whatever it is, right? You can place whatever other action it is in there. It's pretty cool. You can decide. It's absolutely up to you. The non-touch obviously is just a task. All right, assign such and such to, or add to new tag. Add to this tag, and then you can just add on a tag. Or you can call and ask for a referral. It's up to you. Or leave it at, or non-touch. Let me see, a non-touch would be reassign or something. There's other things that you can do. You can also do some smart plans around activities that don't involve people, but that's what they're there for. Smart plans are there so you stay top of mind with the people that you're in contact with. Right? So use it the way it's designed. That'll serve you best. Make a phone call. Clearly, it lets you know. Make that phone call. Send an email. We already talked about what that looks like. How you can build out your own little email that's kind of generic for your new people. Send a text. Pretty much already talked about what it is to add the text. What is that, static or dynamic? What language are you going to include in that? Right? So we touched on that. Set a delay, we talked about that as well. That just means how many days in between these tasks are we supposed to go through. So once this is completed for 30 days, then the next task comes up, right? That's what the delay is there for. Then we have Adv Smartplan, which assigns them to a new smart plan if you run the entire course of the smart plan. Or if you want to just restart the entire flow, then go right ahead, because think about this one. You know, it's DTD2. It's meant for every 90 days, right? So we're talking to them once a quarter with this plan. Why not just click restart flow? Just does it all over again. I think it's cool.
It is cool. That way no one drops through the cracks.
Yeah, so for this one, what I would say, since this is manual, and this one isn't, for this specific plan, I would say leave it as manual if you need to. Because if it's automatic for this text message, and you make contact with them, say that your second phone call, it's kind of weird, right? You already talked to them, and then the following day at 8:30 in the morning, they get a text, hey, it's me, I just want to see how you're doing. And then you get a weird text saying, well, I just talked to you yesterday, why are you sending me this text?
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
that's the only downside I see to these things. So when this talks about 30 days, if you could set it, even push it out, but I understand that you're saying this is going to delay it for a specific time period.
Yeah, it'll delay it for a specific
Yeah,
period.
you don't want the guy to think you're stalking him.
Or just a weirdo. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Don't you remember our conversations? Why am I going to keep talking to you?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you got to make sure that it's right. Okay, so I'm actually going to change this since I set it up this way, so it's automatically sent out. Well, you know, maybe it's not the best thing that I can do. I'll just make it a task for myself. So that's where that touch task comes in handy. Or we'll just say send text message to such and such. If you can call the task name DTD2 text message, and then give yourself a reminder saying only send this text if not contacted in the previous 2 contact steps of the smart plan, or something to that effect. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That way you can keep track of that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go through this and edit all my smart plans just because of that. Right? Okay. Other things that we can do with this. Oh, rules. Okay. So there are some rules. You can't have more than 6 tasks happen in a day at this point.
Can't have what?
No more than 6 happen in a day.
Okay.
You shouldn't go beyond 90 days for your duration. The other thing is here, so there are a couple that are added here. So I'm going to click edit here. Now you see these rules over here?
Mm-hmm.
It's active. And what makes it active is assigning people to it. So what changes can be made in the Adv Smart Plan? Well, you can change the name of it, what the text message says, and what the text or task description says. You can't change any steps. You can't add or remove any of them, or change the order if it's active. And then it gives you this. In order to make the change, in order to change the order of actions or add new actions to the smart plan, you need to duplicate it. Contacts currently subscribed won't migrate to this new plan. Okay, so you can duplicate the smart plan, and that'll allow you to make the changes if it's active. The other way to do it is to yes. The other way to do it is to click on the eyeball, check your contacts, and click unsubscribe all. And then everybody that was subscribed to it is removed from it. And then you can make your edits and changes.
Okay, smart. Okay.
Okay. So that's the only limitation once it's active. And having a contact assigned to it is what makes it active. Okay. let's see, what else can we do with these smart plans? Pretty soon, people will be able to, if you notice here where it says published, if I decide that I wanted to share my smart plans with other KW agents, I could. Right? And this is the way it should look.
And
Top rated.
you went to library to get this, right?
Yeah, once it's
Okay.
available, all the shared smart plans will be available in the library.
Got it.
Some will, if you notice, it says free, 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 free. Some may be paid. Some people will say, well, if you want to use this smart plan, it's going to cost you $20 or something. Because they're the ones that spent the time building it out, and you know it's really effective for their business, and they're sharing it out for everybody. If you want to take advantage of it, pay the $20. You know. It's creating other opportunities elsewhere is what it's doing. And you can rate them, which is pretty cool. It tells you how many agents are using it, which is, I think, pretty cool. It tells you who the author is.
Yeah, I think the one guy I talked to at
There's a 5x5x5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once it becomes available, it'll be really cool for you guys. Do we have any other questions on smart plans?
Not yet. I think I know enough to be dangerous. So yeah, there's cool stuff in there.
Yeah, I think so too.
I might have you hold my hand through one when I do one, if you would.
Sure. Yeah, just let me know.
If you don't want to hold my hand, Jesse, maybe Larry will, or Mary, maybe Heather. That's cool. I like knowing what's there, and I will take advantage of those. I saw several things in that library that I think I can benefit from right off the bat. So,
Oh yeah,
cool stuff. Thank you for that.
absolutely.
See, us old dogs can be taught. We can.
Never doubted it for a second.
Except how to change that damn font.
Yeah, I'm not
There you
sure.
go. There you go.
But we'll figure it out.
Okay.
If there's anything,
Please.
if we can. If we can
All
find a
right.
solution, we'll find it.
You can do anything if you try hard enough.
Well, in this case, if they give us the authorization to save it or not.
Squeaky wheel, Jesse. You got to squeak louder and you'll make it happen. Okay, I got to jump on another call. Appreciate your time, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks so
I
much,
gotta
Jan.
fly.
It was great seeing you.
Good to
Larry,
see you
thank
too.
you for being here. Robin, Marcus, everybody who was here. It's great to see you. We'll see you next time. Have a great week.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thanks. Bye-bye.